The Honourable Member for Murchison.
Thank you, Mr President. Mr President, most, if not all members would know that the Commonwealth Women Parliamentarians, or CWP, is an integral part of the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association, or the CPA. The CWP works for the better representation of women in legislatures and for the furtherance of gender equality across the Commonwealth. The strategic purpose of CWP is to increase female representation in parliaments and legislatures in the Commonwealth, provide a means of building the capacity of women elected to Parliament and to be more effective in their roles, and to improve the awareness and ability of all parliamentarians, male and female, and encouraging them to include a gender perspective in all aspects of their role, legislation, oversight and representation, and helping parliaments become gender-sensitive institutions. Mr President, the CWP has an active presence in all Australian parliaments, and members use various methods such as motions, parliamentary debates, hosting forums and inter-parliamentary events to raise awareness of the work and focus of CWP. Along with the strategic purpose of CWP overall, our Australian branch of CWP aims to increase the number of women in Australian parliaments. We've done that reasonably successfully in recent times. To provide a network of current women, members of Parliament, to encourage young women to engage with democratic processes, build careers in the political sphere and learn more about the Commonwealth, and to educate all members of Parliament on the work of the Commonwealth Women Parliamentarians and encourage them to get involved in its activities. Mr President, the CWP is a non-partisan network of women parliamentarians who are committed to the advancement of women in politics. Each of the states and territories in the federal parliament elect a representative to the CWP, who then make up the Australian Regions Steering Committee. The Steering Committee is a body of 10 women MPs representing each of Australia's federal, state and territory parliaments, plus the chair. Mr President, I've been fortunate enough to serve on the Steering Committee on behalf of the Tasmanian Parliament for a total of 6 years, with my second 3-year term finishing this year. It has been a little bit frustrating for this last term with COVID-19 resulting in the cancellation of a number of events that were planned, including educational functions for our members, the 2021 conference, which was successfully held in July this year, and 2 previous Stepping Up events. Mr President, Stepping Up is the CWP's Young Women in Leadership Day, and that's today. Each school, public and private and homeschool students, are invited to send 2 Year 9 students to Parliament with support staff to spend a day in our workplace under the excellent guidance of our Parliamentary Education Service and Education Officers Colette Goyne and Kimbra McCormick. And I wish to sincerely thank them both, in particular Colette, who has done a lot of behind-the-scenes work to make this event such a success. And I'm privileged to welcome the students to our Parliament this morning, Mr President. This year we have students from 12 schools, or actually it's 11 schools because one had to turn back for illness and the weather conditions on the highway. So the schools that are in attendance are Australian Christian College in Hobart, Calvin Christian School in Kingston, Cape Barren Island School, Clarence High School, Hobart City High School, the Indy School in Burnie, Leyland Christian School in Ulverstone were the ones that needed to turn back. New Norfolk High School, Scotch Oakburn College in Launceston, Southern Christian College in Kingston, St Michael's College in Hobart and the Tasman District School in Newbina. Mr President, Stepping Up is an event to encourage young women to attend our Parliament, to meet as many female MPs as they can and learn about the importance of Parliament in our democracy and introduce young women to some of the skills required to be an effective Member of Parliament. And as we know, these skills will be useful in leadership positions and in the workplace generally. The young women will also learn about various aspects of an MP's role and that of parliamentary staff and electorate officers. Mr President, the commonly stated reality, you can't be what you can't see, is a reality of the Stepping Up program seeks to address and to encourage young women to consider engagement with and involvement in politics. I was hoping they were going to join us in the chamber, Mr President. They've obviously tied up elsewhere, but you will see them later in the morning here when they've finished what they're doing. So, Mr President, I appreciate that due to costs and time away from school and other issues, it's not an easy program for our rural and regional students to attend, and I hope we can find some way to fund these opportunities for schools from our regional areas to enable equity of access in the future. Mr President, I encourage all members who see the young women around the Parliament today to warmly welcome them and let them know a bit about why you put yourself forward for election, whether you're male or female. I also suggest you encourage them to consider engagement in politics and democracy as an important part of our society and where they can make a change and make a difference. Mr President, I warmly welcome the young women and their support staff who are participating in Stepping Up today and wish them well in the future as they embark on or continue their leadership journeys.